Nobel Prize-winning author Isaac Bashevis Singer once said, "What a strange power there is in clothing." When I first read this quote, I didn't exactly understand what the true meaning was, or what could have made the author write such deep words. On an initial shallow impression, I thought that maybe he was referring to superheroes. True enough, we recognize superheroes by the iconic clothes they wear. Superman wore a long red cape, Batman wore all black, and the Hulk was represented by small purple shorts. When they wore these clothes, it meant that they were about to unleash their powers. But then, these words kept playing in my head. Power, clothing. There had to be a much bigger notion concerning this quote than our imagination made superheroes. As these words pondered in my mind, I looked into my everyday life and came to realize the true meaning behind the quote. What I realized, I'd like to share with you. When we think of clothes, we envision pieces of fabric worn to cover the body. They are first and foremost means for protection, and therefore, clothes are essential in everyday life. They are a representation of who we are, and often, clothes reflect our personality and our mood. But I noticed that we tend to miss out on a very important point, and that point is that we don't dress for ourselves. Personally, when I go out, I dress to impress. What others think of my appearance matters to me a lot, and till today, I still struggle with breaking free from that mindset. That's why it's important for me to tell you all that it's wrong. We should dress according to how we want to be projected, and believe it or not, clothes have superpowers that can help us achieve this. It might seem impossible, but clothes can greatly affect our behavior. A recent discovery in science shows that this phenomenon is called Enclothed Cognition. This term, first coined by cognitive psychologists Hajo Adam and Adam Galinsky, describes the effect that our clothes seem to have on various psychological processes, such as our attitudes and our emotions. It states that clothes have a symbolic meaning, and when physically worn, will cause a change in behavior. So in their study, it was revealed that any kind of clothing that is associated with a specific role activates all our knowledge and expectations about how people from a certain profession should behave. They had groups of people wearing either a doctor's coat, an artist's coat, or just their everyday casual wear. However, the doctor's coat and the artist's coat were the exact same one. They then were asked to partake in a test that measured attention. What was interesting about the experiment was that the participants that had the best performance were the ones who wore the doctor's coat. So, what does this mean exactly? Well, to put it simply, the participants were doing what I like to personally call, be what you wear. They adopted the characteristics a person of a certain profession would have. Take for instance the group who wore the doctor's coat. Normally, a doctor is viewed as a scientific thinker, highly intelligent and precise. Now, when the participants wore the doctor's coat, that same mindset transferred to them, resulting in a change of behavior. However, it's not just physically wearing the cloth, but also believing in what you wear. As I have mentioned in the experiment, the doctor and the artist's coat were the exact same coat, but the participants believed they were different. As Hajo Adams said, it's all about the symbolic meaning that you associate with a particular item of clothing. The participants believed in what they were wearing, and so that caused a change in their behavior. How does this piece of information fit into dressing the way we want? Try looking at it this way. Say you want to appear smart for a business interview. you would have to wear similar clothes to that of a businesswoman or a businessman. However, it's not just wearing the clothes, but also believing in what you wear. You must believe that you are smart. You are a businesswoman. You are a businessman. Before you know it, you won't only appear smart, but you will also be smart. Those are just the only superpowers that clothes contain. The next power that I will be introducing is something I like to call Color Onslaught! This is because clothing in various colors can also influence behavior in several ways. Clothes that are in bright colors, such as yellow, can cheer us up and boost our mood and energy, while clothes that are dark and dull usually create a tired and somber mood, especially when we all have our bad days. Maybe if you're an adult, you arrived late to work and your boss shouted at you. Maybe if you're a student, you didn't do well on a quiz, or maybe you're having a mental breakdown from the amount of homework assigned. I highly recommend that you open your closet and put on something bright. It will do wonders and help cheer you up. Not only is your mood affected, but it also improves your behavior towards exercise. According to a study published in the Journal of Sports and Exercise Psychology, red clothing motivates the wearer to work harder compared to blue clothing. For example, during the 2004 Olympic Games, athletes wearing red won more events than athletes who wore blue. Pretty amazing if you ask me. The last power of clothes I will be mentioning is the confidence booster. Clothes can certainly boost our confidence and self-esteem. When we are confident, it gives us room to be the best that we can be. I, for one, can vouch for that statement. To illustrate my point, I would like to share my own personal experience. In my school, we have an activity called Casual Monday, where students get a break from the mandatory uniform and are able to dress in casual clothes. This event only happens once a month, and so I really wanted to make the most of it. That Monday, I went to school wearing green pants, a fitting black shirt, a stylish jacket with my hair up in twin buns. Immediately, when I walked into school, I received compliments on how cute I looked. I was ecstatic. I really liked what I wore, and to have others appreciate the way I looked gave me a big reassurance on my confidence. I felt I could take on whatever life had to throw my way. It was euphoric. I had a positive attitude in class, and for the rest of the day, I walked with a bounce in my step. It was in that moment that I realized my behavior took such a positive turn, all because I felt more confident in the clothes I wore. So, going back to what Isaac Bashevis Singer once said, what a strange power there is in clothing. I realize now that what he meant wasn't about superheroes. No, he was referring to the clothes we wear in our everyday life, and how these clothes can empower us to be the best we can be. Something as simple as a dress, a shirt, a jacket has the power to make us feel as if we are on top of the world, on the top of our game. Often in our lives, we fail to see the value of small or everyday common things, such as our clothes. But once you do, you will realize that there is indeed a strange power in clothing. Thank you.